Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. I know it's a little late, but honestly, I have felt that January was a bit overwhelming for me. I don't know about you guys, but I personally feel like I just hate the pressure, that January comes with. And for me, it just takes a little bit of a time to kind of get started with the new year. So yeah, that's why I was kind of late in uploading the videos, but here I am, and I thought today I'll do a video on some of my favorite makeup and skincare products that I have been using for the entire year of 2025, or some of them even like earlier than 2025, and I'll for sure continue using it even in this new year. So if you're my skin tone or a brown girl looking to try some new products for recommendation, definitely keep on watching. I also have some skincare products with the makeup products for this video. Before we get started, I thought I'll let you know my skin type if it helps you guys. So my skin is combination oily. I am a bit oily on the T-zone, and then I'm usually quite dry on my cheeks, but it sometimes changes with the season. In summer, my skin becomes definitely much more oily compared to winter. The very first set of products that I wanted to talk about were some base products that I usually use for skin prep. Now, I'm not a big primer person, so I don't use a primer all the time, but if it's a special occasion or I'm going out for dinner and I just want my makeup to maybe have that extra glam or last for maybe a longer time, I use the primer. So the two primers or the base products that I really love are these two. So the first one is the Charlotte Tilbury, the Hollywood Flawless Filter, and I love this because it's so good in giving that glow from within look to your skin. So I use this so much, even on the days sometimes when I'm not wearing any foundation and I just wear like a concealer and a corrector, I still go ahead and I use it because it gives me such a good glow, and I really love it. I have it in the shade 4 medium. Another primer that I love is the YSL Blur Primer, and I just also really love this because my pores can really be visible sometimes under makeup, and this primer really helps to blur my skin out without making it look super matte and dry. So it's not super glowy, but it has some glowy sparkly bits in it, as you can see. So it gives my skin still such a nice glow, but also has that blurring effect on my skin. So I really love this YSL primer as well. It is a bit expensive, I would say, but for me, I think it's totally worth the money. Speaking of base products, these are the two foundations that I absolutely love and have been using for a long time now. The very first foundation is probably of no surprise if you follow me on Instagram, but I love the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation because it's truly that good on my skin. But I do want to mention that this is an old formulation. I know they have a new formulation now, so I'm not sure how that is compared to this original one, but this original one really sits nice on my combination oily skin. Does not make it look greasy, but gives it that skin-like finish, is not super cakey, and I love how this makes my skin feel. Also, if I have somewhere where I'm taking a lot of photos, I can depend on this foundation because it just is so flawless on my skin. Next up is this Dior Forever Skin Perfect Foundation, and honestly, I didn't have high expectations from this foundation because for me, I usually don't like stick foundations because I feel like they just make my skin look super dry and cakey, and then I'm wearing a lot of makeup. But this one does not do that. It is so nice. It gives my skin such a good glowy or more like a satin finish on my skin, and it's not super glowy or super matte. It's somewhere in between for me, and I just love how it sits on my skin, how it comes out in photos. Again, this is not a cheap foundation, but honestly it's worth like every penny. I got it during the Sephora sale, so I got it actually quite, later in the year, but I completely fell in love with it, and I am honestly gonna use it throughout 2026 as well, especially for special events. This is such a great foundation, and I have it in the shade 3W. Next up, let's talk about some concealers and a corrector. So my favorite corrector throughout the year was the Kosas corrector. It is just so nice. I actually love the tone of it because I find that some connectors are super peachy, and even when I apply concealer, they still kind of show through the concealer, which I hate. So this corrector actually has such a good undertone that it's not super peachy, but super like pinky. It's like a great undertone, so it covers my under eye circles or anything on my face without looking too orangey. And also the consistency of this corrector is just so nice. It does not look cakey under my eyes, does not make my under eyes look dry. Speaking of my under eyes looking dry, this concealer from Tower 28 is absolutely amazing if you're looking for something super hydrating under your skin, but that will still cover up your under eyes or anything around your face as well. So this concealer from Tower 28, it was my absolute favorite throughout 2025. I think I actually started using it at the end of 2024. Even if I tried like other concealers, I found myself always coming back to this because it's just that good. I have it in the shade NoHo if you're my skin tone and also are looking to try another concealer. So yeah, the Tower 28 concealer, I would highly recommend it. I sometimes even wore it without a full face of makeup on, or even without a corrector. So this shade is actually not even super light for me. This is actually the exact shade as my skin tone. It's not super bright under my eyes, but it is the perfect shade that it will cover my under eyes. I like that actually because sometimes I like to wear concealer just by itself, just with some blush if I'm running errands and I don't want to wear any like corrector or foundation. So this concealer is just perfect for that. But it's also like very buildable if you want to have like a full face of makeup on, have a glam look. This will also do really well with that. So yeah, absolutely amazing. And then talking about full face of glam on, this concealer from Armani Beauty is just beautiful for that. So it's not super thick, but it's also not super lightweight. I just love how it's a little bit more like tacky compared to the Tower 28 concealer. So it just stays put and it's super buildable. So if I want to have just a little bit more coverage under my eyes, then I usually go for this, if I'm going for events or something. So this just is so good for that. It will cover up my under eyes without making it look dry and cakey. So this is just amazing as well. I have it in the shade 5.5. I can also see someone using like a darker shade of this as like a contour shade, because I feel like since it's a concealer, it will just stay put in place, and it will be just so good for that contour. So maybe I'll try that in the future. But if you're looking for a new concealer, I highly recommend this as well. Next up, let's talk about some bronzer and contour, because I love me a good contour, and I discovered this Haus Labs contour stick in 2025 and is just really nice. I am such a fan of this. The undertone of it, it's not like too orangey, not super muddy and gray. If you're a brown girl and my skin tone or even darker, sometimes I find that some bronzers or contours based on their undertone kind of look very gray and muddy on my skin tone, and I don't like that. I don't also like it to be like super orangey. So like this is just the perfect shade for contour for me, and it is so easy to apply it because it's in the form of a stick. I can go easily all over my face, on my nose. It's just absolutely amazing. This actually made me want to try a lot of other Haus Labs products because I just fell in love with this, and I have it in the I actually can't breathe the shade on this because it's all faded. I have used it so much. But I list all of the products with their shades that I have in the description box below, so make sure to check it out. Talking about bronzers that are not super muddy and orangey, I also love this YSL bronzer, and it is such a good shade. I absolutely love it. It's just so easy to blend, super like creamy, goes on really, you know, easy with a lot of other like makeup products like my blush, and also does not look super orangey and gray. So yeah, totally love this. Super easy to use. And look at this packaging, it's so cute. You know, not that packaging matters, but you know, if the product is good and the packaging is cute, then why not? So yeah, this is called the All Hours Hyper Bronze, and I have it in the shade medium. For eyeshadows, I have kind of used the same set of eyeshadows, you know, throughout like the end of 2024, 2025, because for me, I don't do like a lot of like glam eye looks on like my day-to-day basis. I only do like a full eye like glam look if I'm going out for a special occasion or an event, or sometimes for dinner, you know. But something that I find is super easy to use if you're not into eye makeup, or if you're still beginner, or even if you're a pro like, you know, makeup artist, these Armani eye tints are something to die for. Like honestly, it has changed my life. I know it's super dramatic to say that, but it truly has. Like the very first time that I tried it, I just fell in love with it because it was super easy to use. I could, you know, just blend it with my finger, and it was completely like hassle free. So I have two shades in it. The first one is 44S, and this shade is a little bit of a sparkly shade, a sparkly like peachy pinky shade, and it just looks so pretty on, you know, on the eyes. And I actually used it for my cousin's wedding the very first time, and I absolutely loved my eye look like that day. I only used this with something else that I'll talk about in the next few minutes, but this one is amazing. And then another shade I have is the 30M. This shade is more like a taupey brown shade, so I tend to use it more like on a daily basis because it's like a day-to-day shade for me. I use this just by itself, or again in combination with any other like eyeshadow that I want, but these are super blendable. It just blends so easily, stays put, does not, you know, crease on my oily eyelids. So I highly recommend it to you. I think I want to get one more shade in it. It's called 22M or something, because it's even like lighter than the 30M shade, so I can also use that like day to day. But the Armani items are a game changer, and you need to try them. Another set of eyeshadow duo that I loved was the Patrick Star eyeshadows in the shade Still at the Club. Now they have a lot of different shade range for this eyeshadow duos, and I want to get more of them because they are really good. These are also like so pigmented and super easy to blend. You know, it's super easy to use, so I sometimes just put the Armani eye tint, and then I use these eyeshadows on top of the eye tints, and I have such a easy, you know, eye look, but it looks like I put so much effort into my makeup. So I love such products. The Patrick eyeshadows are just beautiful, super easy to travel with as well. Yeah, and highly recommend it. I also loved this Urban Decay Space Cowboy eyeshadow because it is so gorgeous. Like it is such a good sparkly eyeshadow, and it's such a good topper as well, so it just gives my eyes like a wet eyeshadow look. So I don't know how to explain it, but if you've ever tried it, you know what I mean. And yeah, this, whenever I wear it, I always get so many compliments because it just makes my eyes look like so bright. It's just so good, especially for us brown girls. The shade is also like beautiful. And yeah, if you haven't tried this, I think you're missing out. You definitely need to try this out. And lastly, for eyeshadows, if you're just looking for something simple simple, like a day-to-day eyeshadow palette, you know, that you can use even for like glam looks combined with other eyeshadows or by itself. I have to recommend this Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette because it's just amazing. I bought it in 2024 when it first released, and look at it, I have been using it almost on daily basis, and there's still so much more to go in here. So this is so worth the money. Honestly, I'm so impressed by Makeup by Mario products. It is honestly one of my favorite brands in Sephora, and that says a lot. But everything that I've tried from them is just amazing. Speaking of Makeup by Mario, I actually forgot to talk about this skin enhancer from them, which, as you can see, I've completely used, and this was probably like my 5th time, you know, repurchasing it, and I'm gonna go repurchase it after this video because I love it so much. This again, super creamy, super easy to use. I feel like it gives my skin such a good not a glow, but it blends in so nicely with other products, like with other cream products. And I have actually one time used it even on top of a powder, and it still looked really good. Gave my skin such a good like look, and I highly recommend it for you to like try this, because you will probably love it as much as I do, or maybe a lot of other people do, you know. And I have it in the shade medium. For powder, I love this powder, the translucent cloud set setting powder from Kosas, and I have it in the shade translucent candy. It's such a good, you know, finely like melted powder, and I like that I can use it for baking under my eyes or, you know, around the face, but also just when I only want to set my like T-zone. So really love this powder from Kosas. Speaking of great powders, the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder is also a great one. I usually have it in my purse, you know, because again, I am combination oily skin, so sometimes I need to like set my face when I'm on the go, and this one I really love for that. I just use it to set my T-zone on the go, or, you know, even like after I have like put a setting spray or something on my face and I still want to have like one more layer of like just a setting powder to like set my T-zone, I usually like use this, and it makes my skin look so flawless as it says. So yeah, I will always have this in my makeup collection, like, because I again have been using it forever, like even before like 2025, and I always continue using it. Let's talk about all the blushes. Honestly, picking up just few blushes was kind of hard for me because I love trying different blushes, and you know, I just tend to buy more blushes than anything else. But yeah, here I am. I just picked something that I used probably, you know, like all the time, more than I have used other blushes. The very first blush is this Rhode blush in the shade Toasted Teddy. If you're my skin tone or even like darker, I think like you will love this blush. It's just so good. It is hyped all over social media, but I think it's for a reason, because it's really good. It just blends easily. It also stays put for a long time. Super easy to blend. So yeah, absolutely love this Rhode blush. I need to try their other shades. Another blush that I loved, especially in the summertime, is this It Cosmetics Sun Blushes, and this is in the shade Sun Warmth 30. And this is just such a gorgeous blush, especially on my skin tone again, you know. This has such a different texture. I feel like it's more like a mousse. When you first apply it, it's a little bit wet on the skin, but as you blend it, it turns into like a little bit of a matte satin finish, which is not super matte, but you know, it still goes on like very like creamy and glowy, but not super glowy. You need to try this for you to understand what I mean by it. But I don't see a lot of people talking about this shade or like these blushes. Look at the shade. It's so like peachy pinky. They are honestly some of the best blushes that I've tried. Something that I keep wearing again and again is this RMS Beauty blush in the shade Hanky Panky, and I don't see a lot of people talking about the RMS Beauty blushes or their products in general, but I feel like they have such good makeup products, and the blushes is the only thing that I've tried, and I do want to try more products from them, because honestly this blush makes me feel like their other products can also be like really good. So I just love their blushes, and this shade, it's like a pinky purpley shade, so it just actually really pairs nicely with the road blush. So I put the road blush on first, and then I go in and put this on top, and this is again like, it's not super matte but it's not shiny. So if you have aging or mature skin and does not want to like enhance your pores after you put on blush, because some blushes do that, I feel like this you will absolutely love, and they have such good shades. So honestly, check RMS Beauty blushes out if you haven't had a chance to try them yet. Also, this blush from House Labs, it's called Fire Moon, and it is again such a good shade. It comes off more like, I think, like orangey on camera, but on my skin it tends to be more neutral. Not super orangey, not super pinky. It's more like this shade rather than like super orangey, and I like that because sometimes if I'm wearing like a smoky eye or or like a dark lip, I just want like a subtle hint of blush, and I like this, the blush Fire Moon. I just go in really like light-handed with my brush, and this blush just looks gorgeous on the skin. Again, it's like super easy to travel with, comes with a mirror, which I actually really like, because you can like just touch up on the go. So highly recommend this House Labs blush as well. And lastly, I cannot talk about blushes without recommending the Hourglass palettes. Now Hourglass has these palettes in different versions every year, but I think like they kind of have the very similar shades, to be honest. But these blushes and the highlighter, these blushes and the highlight, the powder are just gorgeous. They just blend so nicely on the skin, and I actually bought it in 2024, at the end of 2024 during the Sephora sale, and it's still going strong. But when I tell you, I use this like probably every time that I do my makeup. This Hourglass palette is just so worth the money. I know they're always sold out, but if you can get your hands on it during the end of the year, or even during the Sephora sale, or right now, definitely get this palette because you won't regret it. Next up, let's talk about some brows, eyeliner, and a mascara. For my eyebrows, I love this L'Oreal brow lamination. It's so good, and not super expensive, does the job. It does not leave that white cast or like white particles on my eyebrows. I find that sometimes like the eyebrow gels just leave that texture after a while, and my eyebrows don't stay in place. The only other eyebrow gel that I've loved is the Rare Beauty one, but this L'Oreal one is half the price and does the job, so I keep repurchasing this. It's just amazing. The eyebrow pencil that I love is from ABH Cosmetics. This is their brow styler in dark brown. I always keep going back to this. I love that the tip on this is like slanted, so I can easily like go in and then fill in my brows. Also, it does not break that easily, because I find that some eyebrow pencils, they're so thin up top that every time I put just a little bit of pressure, it breaks off. So I love this eyebrow pencil, and again, it is like dual ended, so you can also like fill your brows in and set it in place. For eyeliner, this is my first time that I've tried anything from Lisa Eldridge, and this eyeliner is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm not good with eyeliner, so I can probably do like my left eye, good, I would say, and then when it comes to my other eye, it never kind of matches, so I avoid doing eyeliners. But I tried this eyeliner and I just love the tip on it because it's so sharp, and so it makes it super easy to do that wing. And yeah, I also want to try other products, especially their skin tint, after I've tried this eyeliner, because I feel like their products would be really really good. For mascara, I loved this YSL Beauty mascara. I love the wand on it. This is in the shade brown. 425 was my first time trying brown mascara, and I have fell in love with it because it looks so natural. So when I'm going out during the daytime, I usually use brown mascara and not black, because it just looks so much better and not harsh during the daytime. I just love the wand on it. And yeah, this does not clump up and does not have a lot of fallout. It's also waterproof. So yeah, I love this YSL mascara. For highlight, I keep going back to my Bobbi Brown highlight. Now, I don't like highlights that just sit on top of my skin, so I either tend to go with cream highlights, or with like something which is super like fine powder highlight, so that it does not look super patchy and cakey on my skin. But anyways, I love this Bobbi Brown highlight. I keep going back to it. I honestly don't even know if I can still use it, because I bought it I think in 2023, and this is in the shade Afternoon Glow. But this is such a good highlight, and it has never done me wrong. It never makes my skin look patchy, or my it does not like enhance my pores. It just gives me that good glow from within look. So I highly recommend this Bobbi Brown highlight. Another highlight that I love is the Merit Beauty highlight, and it's in the shade Kava, and this is the highlighting balm from them, and it is amazing. Like, I am running out of it. I definitely will repurchase this when I'm completely out of it, because it's just gorgeous. I use it even on the days when I'm not wearing a lot of makeup. So I'll just put like my concealer on, my blush on, and this, and it gives my skin such a good glow from within look. Like, I had probably like 15 hours of sleep, and it does not sit just on top of my skin. It kind of like blends in and makes my skin glow. So this is such a good highlight from Merit Beauty, and I highly recommend for you to like try it if you haven't tried it yet. Let's talk about lips next. Honestly, again, just like the blushes, I have so many lip products that I keep on, rotation. So it's hard for me to recommend lip products, but I went with things that I used again and again on daily basis, or even for glam looks. For lip liners, I love the Makeup Forever lip liners, especially in the shade Limitless Brown. It is such a great shade. I know, again, like, people are obsessed with it, and that's for a reason, because this stays on my lips like for a long time, blends in really really well, and goes with so many lipsticks. I also just use this sometimes along with the lip gloss, and it still looks great. So highly recommend the Makeup Forever lip liners. Another lip liner or lip stain that I really loved was the Huda Beauty lip stain, and this is in the shade Toasty Brown. So I use it for the days when I know that I'm like out for a long time and I don't want to keep reapplying my lip liner again and again. This shade especially I love, because again, it's like a darker brown shade, and yeah, it just goes on really really well. The only thing I find that it can be like a little bit drying, and it dries out really fast. So I bought this in like just before like a month or so. Again, I restocked it, and this is completely, I think it's like a little bit like dried up right now. So I just wish that it would like last a long time, but on the lips it feels really comfortable, and it does last to me like a long time. I would want to continue using it this year, but I just wish that they would change something with the formulation again, where it does not, like, the product does not dry up so quickly. And for lipsticks, I don't have it with me because I forgot it at my mom's house, but the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in Pillow Talk Medium is one of my favorite lipsticks. I feel like 8 times out of 10 when you meet me, I am most likely wearing that lipstick if I'm wearing a lipstick, because I just love the mauvey rosy undertone to it and how it looks on my skin tone. If you're my skin tone, you definitely need to try the shade Pillow Talk Medium. The next lipstick I love is the YSL Love Shine lipsticks, and they're also absolutely gorgeous. So I feel like this is not super long lasting because it's more like a lip balm, but it's not super heavy on the lips. So it's more than a lip balm. It has more like pigment than a lip balm, I would say, but it's not super heavy and sticky. So I love that. I love this for that reason, because sometimes I just wear like a lip liner and the Love Shine lipstick, and it just gives my lips great like look without like overdoing it. And this is in the shade 15. It's expensive for like a lipstick or a lip balm kind of a thing, but it's totally worth it. And for lip glosses, lip oil, this Clarins lip oil, I have used so much of it because this is just so comfortable on the lips. I just use it even when I'm like going to the gym or running errands, and it just makes my lips look super hydrated without being too heavy on my lips. I hate when the lip glosses or the lip oils, they just like stick and my hair sticks onto it. This does not do that. And for lip gloss, I love the It Cosmetics lip glosses. They are super pigmented and again not sticky. I don't hear a lot of people talking about this, but they are so good, creamy, hydrating on the lips, and it's not sticky at all. So I just love that. This is such a good pinky mauvey shade, and I love that. I use it just with a lip liner or by itself. It just makes my skin look brighter, so for the days that I feel like I need some like brightness and color on my skin, I don't know, I just use this and it instantly makes me feel good about it. So yeah, highly recommend the It Cosmetics lip glosses. And that's it for all the makeup products. Let's move on to skincare now, because I'm struggling with the light here since the sun is about to go down, and I just want to finish everything before it goes down because I don't want to re-record this. So yeah, let's get on to skincare. Starting off with this Rhode Glazing Mist. I'm almost running out of it. It was one of my favorite products that I started using last year, and I just love how it's not super heavy. It does not make my skin greasy, but gives it such a good base under makeup or even without makeup. It's such a good glazing mist, so I definitely recommend it. Even if you have dry skin or like again skin like me, like oily combination skin, I think like you will love it. I don't know you will love it if you have super oily skin, because it does give my skin like a glow. So yeah, not sure if you have super oily skin, but otherwise you're good and you should definitely give this a try. For serum, I love the SkinCeuticals Vitamin C Ferulic Serum, and I'm laughing because I absolutely love this, but I hate the price of this. So I wish that it was not as expensive as it is, but unfortunately this is probably one of the only vitamin C serums that I truly see a difference in my skin because of the price. Sometimes I go and try different vitamin C serums and somehow I always miss this. It is so good, and I highly recommend it for you to try it. I think like it truly makes a difference. And if you have something that you have tried which that comes close to this and you see a difference in your skin, let me know in the comment section below, because I would love to find something that is much more affordable than this, because I also go through quickly since I use this every single day. So I love this vitamin C serum from SkinCeuticals, and of course I'll keep continue using it, because again, this is the only vitamin C serum I feel that makes a difference on my skin. And it's not and I love that it's not super greasy, because some vitamin C serums, it makes my skin very, very greasy, and like it leaves this residue that does not sink in into the skin. This does not do that. Speaking of affordable serums, if you're looking for much more affordable serums, I think that the Peach and Lily serums are really, really good. So this was my first time trying them, and I am running out of it. But both of these serums, the first one is the Power Cocktail Lactic Acid Repair Serum, and I tried it because I right now am not using retinol since my skin is a bit more sensitive right now, but I still wanted to use something that would keep my skin bright and exfoliate it just a little bit. So this lactic acid serum from Peach and Lily, I tried it, and I remember it the first time I used it, I felt like my skin actually looks a little brighter, so I kept using it. And honestly, I am such a fan of this serum because whenever again I stop using it, I see the difference in my skin, that this definitely makes my skin brighter. So if you have sensitive or I guess acne prone skin, definitely give this a try because it's not too harsh, and I use it alternate days when I'm not using my other serums. And the next serum from Peach and Lily is this copper peptide serum. This just helps with firming of the skin, and since I'm not using retinol, I again wanted to have something which is less harsh but still keeps my skin firm, and this one does such a great job at that. It's not super harsh, super lightweight, it's almost like water on your skin. So it's just very, very like easy and nice to use, and I love both of the serums in combination but also just by themselves. Highly recommended because they're again not as expensive as something like Skin Ceuticals, but definitely does the job. And the last serum I love is this double serum from Clarins. Now this is again super expensive, but this is something that me and my husband, we both love. I especially love this under makeup, so as like a skin prep step. So I'll apply like my glazing milk from Rhode, and then I would apply my vitamin C serum, and then I would apply this, and then my moisturizer and SPF, and this just gives my skin such a good glow, and I just love it. I absolutely love this. This is my second time repurchasing it, and it just gives my skin that again like glow from within look, and I love it so much because of that I keep going back to it. I'll continue to purchase this because both me and my husband, we love it. Whenever I want to exfoliate my skin, but just something more potent compared to just this lactic acid serum that from Peach and Lily that I talked about, I use the LMS resurfacing facial pads, and these are so good. Gives my skin such a good exfoliation, makes it brighter, but I don't use it all the time. I use it probably once every week because I find that for me personally it can be a little bit too much if I use it on daily basis. But I've also used it before on alternate days when my skin had a lot of texture and I wanted to get rid of it. These facial pads are really, really good. For moisturizer, I love the Kiehl's moisturizer, the Ultra Facial Cream, and this is a very, very simple, no fragrance. Actually, does it have any fragrance? No, not a real fragrance, but just like a simple moisturizer fragrance. Yeah, this is again super easy to use, also works great under makeup. It's just something super easy to use, and I keep going back to it. And another moisturizer that I discovered in 2025, they actually sent it to me, so it was just lying around, and when I was running out of my Kiehl's moisturizer, I decided to give this a try. It's from It Cosmetics, and I honestly, whenever makeup brands come up with like a skincare line, I find it hard for me to trust them because I think they're all about makeup, you know. But this It Cosmetics cream actually surprised me. It's really lightweight and gives great moisture to my skin, but I find that it's a great base under makeup, you know. Whenever I wear makeup, I tend to like use this It Cosmetics moisturizer. It's just really nice. And lastly, for SPF, I love the Kiehl's Better Skin UV Serum Sunscreen with SPF 50 plus. This is actually like a serum, as the name says, so it's not super thick. It just goes in like a serum, and it does not make my skin oily, does not give me a white cast. I highly recommend this one, especially if you have oily skin. This will be a great one. And then I also love this mineral sunscreen from Ulta MD. It is the SPF 40 sunscreen, the UV Restore sunscreen. This is actually much thicker than this Kiehl's sunscreen, but I really enjoyed as well. And because it does not give me like a white cast, when you first apply it, you may find that it goes on a lot thicker, but just give it few minutes and I feel like it just blends into your skin. And yeah, a great base under makeup as well. So love this Ulta MD sunscreen as well. And those are all the makeup and skincare favorites that I am gonna continue using in 2026. I hope you found this video helpful. If you are looking for new products, or even if you are my skin tone, I hope I gave you some great recommendations. And if you have tried any of these products, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, because I would love to know whether you guys love these products and have tried this, or if you have any other recommendations, you know, definitely leave them below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would really appreciate it if you would, because it just helps me a lot more than you realize, and I would always be very appreciative of that. I do read all the comments, so thank you for all the comments on my previous videos, and make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next one.